It's the time to get down.
Ready to talk about some weed?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Yeah, come for the info. Stay for the reefer. People have been writing me, Vic, telling me how much they enjoy these jingles, that it seems to be a different side of Pax Stereo, which I tell them we have many sides, right, Vic?
Isn't it amazing how health and 420 has blossomed your particular profile?
You know, I was hesitant, but once I realized that I wasn't going to return to the practice, I told Vic it's time for me to talk about marijuana education at that time.
Yep.
I decided to make that point to come out and be a proponent of medical marijuana and talk about my experiences. And so it's been wonderful. So first of all, I got some stuff to share, again, as I always do, my personal experience of what's going on today. But the topics for the day is going to be Lebanon, who's legalizing marijuana and an effort to boost their economy based on some really serious studies about marijuana.
Right.
And then that caused me, Vic, because Lebanon was now going to be legalizing it. I decided to just do a quick review of some of the marijuana status around the globe. So places where you can go and know where it's safe or whatever. And then also, I took a look at the 5 countries that are most likely to legalize throughout the country. So we're going to have all that as part of the conversation today.
Can I ask you a question, man?
Sometimes late at night when my parents aren't home.
I knew you were going to do this. Since you're plugged in, and I know everybody's going to go, okay, what is he going to say now? But see, I think of things as how I communicate it is not to make it a joke, but I always believe it's going to come. How long will it be before we actually see the leader of the free world in the future? Will it be him or her versus another country's leader sitting down in a meeting and one of them smoking a joint? How many years? Decades?
50 years.
50? Okay. I just was
50. That's going to be a long time. That'll be like when you can see him having a drink of wine.
See?
And everybody considers it like wine. Because no one says anything about having wine at the table, right?
So I just
or having drinks, and they got that good scotch.
I just want to know, because somebody's going to... Here's the thing. Everybody's going to go Dow Jones. They're going to say, is the market affected? Is it going up? Is it going down?
Well, they know it's going to go up.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm sorry. I'm just quoting.
I got in that article, too. No, because I'm going to tell you somewhere in there, that's why Lebanon's doing it, because they did a bunch of studies about the money.
Right. And so all I'm doing is this. If you ask the general public, what would they rather have between these two subjects? Would I rather sit back and hear about the nuclear threat and armament of the countries battling their words of texting to communicate whatever? Or would you rather sit back and say, look at them, they're all passing a joint and it's just chill? Which subject would you rather see?
Now, of course, it's a weed smoker who usually defines it thusly as those two choices, Vic. But since those are the only two choices,
right,
I go with the weed smoker.
Look,
that's the only two choices.
I'm just saying, dude.
You know, that's the only two you're giving us here.
Yes.
I'm
thinking of what people were going, do you constantly want to hear the nuclear talk and threats? Or would you rather sit there and go, oh my God, the leader or the president or the premier of Canada or somebody? They actually said, try this. It's really relaxing.
Well, the chat room's weighing in. Mac puts in his 2 cents saying, crack will be legal before that happens. See, why crack? See? And I'm trying to get Mac to try some weed. See, Mac's thing is talking about he has an eating disorder. I'm telling you, Mac, they have the strains now where you don't get munchies. And you can try the vapes, man. You ought to try the vapes, Mac. Go in there, go out to the dispensary, tell them your issue. And, I'm just telling you, they get stuff and it doesn't have. Okay. So we're going to get to those topics. But I'm smoking sugar cookie. Now, what's so interesting in today's world, when I get a strain of weed, I can Google it and get reviews. So it turns out my cousin that told me he was familiar with sugar cookie, they told me at the shop, this shows you how well they are, they told me it was a sativa. This is not a sativa. See, I was smoking this and I was going,
It's not.
that is not a sativa.
Okay.
That's hitting a little too hard.
All right.
I said, that's at least a hybrid. So I go looking it up. And it turns out it's at a couple of places. I went to Leafly. They had a review. And also I went to allbud.com. All Bud says that it's a hybrid that's 50% sativa and 50% indica. No wonder it hits like that. Sugar cookie, now this is according to All Bud. I'm reading right from the page. Sugar cookie possesses an aromatic sweetness and is an indica-dominant hybrid, which allows a person to feel relaxed and at ease. All right. It does not belong to the same family as the Girl Scout cookie, as people seem to believe. It's basically in a totally different structure. Wow. So I thought it's not from Girl Scout cookies. They say actually the sugar cookie is a very famous three-ways cross between the Sensei Star, Crystal Gale, and Blue Hawaiian. Now, isn't that just wonderful to get all that news on your weed? Okay. And then again, according to Leafly.com, they go, sugar cookie is a relaxing indica-dominant hybrid with an aromatic sweetness that is likely to have influenced the strange name. Sugar cookie is a three-way cross. Yeah, okay, I didn't know. We all thought it was based on like that other Girl Scout cookies. So there, I'm smoking sugar cookie. Let me just tell you, I'm going to go back and get an ounce of this. But this is some nice weed. It's a hybrid. I would treat it like an indica because, to me, the way it felt like it was an indica. Not as bad as some of them. The differences being the indicas tend to have a more physical effect. Like when they talk about pinning you to the couch where you're like, drooling out of what.
Right.
That's an indica. So if you want to go to sleep sometimes, or you want to really be that mellow, but if you have stuff to do, you tend to want to have a sativa. I'm the one who told you that usually it's better in the morning if you're having like some smoke with your morning coffee to have a sativa. That's why I thought I was getting a sativa, but no, this is really an indica-dominant hybrid. But it is so good, you guys. I really like this strain. For me, I like it a lot. It's a wonderful combination. So I'll be going to go get an ounce of that bad boy. Okay. What can I say? Okay, so let me tell you about the topics that are today, because I thought this was so interesting. First of all, Lebanon, and we all know the political turmoil that's going on in Lebanon. They participated in a huge study. A bunch of nations did. It was a huge study that evaluated the effect of the growing marijuana. And it was really kind of clear that it would be a really, really great boost to their economy. So it turns out the government of Lebanon has already announced, in fact, according to this report, they've notified the U.S. government of their intent to grow marijuana, and they're really planning to use it for export. That's the part that people are going to look at now, because it's not so much just about growing weed in your country. It's about exporting marijuana and what it could be. Recently Canada legalized marijuana, but wait till you see when they start this export, you guys. It's expected to be a $32 billion industry by 2022.
Pretty good.
$32 billion.
Wow.
Okay, that's marijuana export. So some countries are jumping ahead of it. Okay, they're jumping ahead. So now the Lebanon, see, when I was coming up, and I didn't really smoke weed back then, but I used to hear about it. They used to talk about, Cheech and Chong used to talk about blonde Lebanese hash.
Wow.
And people had Thai stick. Thai stick would be like little sticks. They would have wrapped buds,
Right.
like maybe a branch of buds, a stick, and wrapped it with some other little fiber or hemp,
Okay.
and dried it. And it was coming from Thailand. They called it Thai stick. I had bought some back then. So even the Thai people are talking about it because it's affecting what they did. Okay, for example, the country's trade minister from Thailand made an announcement in the news about the qualities of Thai. He said, well, where is it? Oh, damn it. He said it's, I lost my spot. Anyway, the point was, he said that the the strain has now been cultivated, and that it's going to be coming out of Canada, and that the Canadians had so perfectly reproduced the strain that they can't even say in Thailand that they make the best weed, because they see a lot of these places, they had a reputation, but no one would claim it because it wasn't cool to say that. But Thailand and Lebanon, now they're trying to claim they have the best weed. The trade minister from Lebanon said that the Lebanese cannabis is the best in the world. Man, so this is what's happening now. Canada is the second country to legalize cannabis. Uruguay is the other one. So that's legalized, okay? Oh, there it is from Thailand. Yeah, that's the strain. I said it right. Zimbabwe is also talking about it. So I went and looked, okay? I went and did a little research. I said, wow, with all this legalizing of marijuana on a national front, I mean, for countries, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, then it's also, remember I told you, the ability to export.
Right.
So Canada is looking at that too, okay? So let's take a look. In Australia, Puerto Rico, Poland, the Czech Republic, Croatia, Macedonia, you have legal medicinal marijuana in some form. And in Turkey, you're allowed to cultivate it for personal medical use. In Turkey. Wow. In Uruguay, Spain, Slovenia, Netherlands, Jamaica, Colombia, and Chile, cannabis is legal or at least decriminalized in some form. In the United States, Alaska, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Maryland, Mississippi, Nevada, New Hampshire, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington have also relaxed their drug laws. In June of 2018, Canada became the second country to legalize the use of marijuana for recreational use. That means we can go to Canada. Wow, you can't have more than 30 grams. So you can't have an ounce. You can grow only 4 plants per household. So Canada is good. Now, where are the marijuana laws some of the harshest? In Japan, you can get a 5-year sentence for smoking a joint. Similar sentences are available in Malaysia and Indonesia. If you're caught in the Philippines, you can be sent to rehab for at least 6 months. And then a repeat offender is 6 years to 12 years. Wow. So that is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Now, in the UK, there's calls to use it. Okay? So now, here's the article I found on the 5 countries that are most likely to legalize. And again, they remind you, Uruguay has had legal retail cannabis since mid-17. They've seen a great drop in drug-related crime. The problem is they're having trouble keeping up with the sky-high demand. Canada became the first G7 nation to legalize marijuana nationwide, and they're becoming the prototype for large-scale international marijuana. Now, here's the ones they're predicting. Iceland, where they say it's still illegal, but they just look the other way. They supposedly have some of the highest concentration of marijuana smokers of any country, with almost 20% of the population smoking weed.
Oh.
Dang, Iceland.
Okay.
20%, 18 to 20%. Colombia, they say their reputation for drug violence is there, and as part of their attempt to change, they're legalizing medical marijuana cultivation. And they have also moved to legitimize its cultivation for export. Wow. Export. The Netherlands, who has schizophrenia, because they have weed in the coffee shops. You can't call yourself a coffee shop if you don't sell weed. But yet it's illegal to grow and transport. The coffee shops can only have 500 grams of weed at one time. But it's illegal to grow and transport, but they have a whole coffee shop network. So again, they have their own type of schizophrenia. Well, they're expected, maybe, possibly, to change. Cannabis is still actually illegal, and the coffee shops are technically against the law. The UK, supposedly, the UK is actually the world's largest producer of legal cannabis. They exported 95 tons of weed, mostly for research and medicinal use. Wow. And of course, the U.S., where, even though Sessions is against it, there's no question the United States is moving toward legalization of marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So there it is, you guys, an update about what things are going on. I'm paying attention to it because it makes a difference where I travel. So I can go anywhere in Canada and not have to worry. I can go to Uruguay. There's a bunch of the other countries where they're not looking so much. But if I really want to go to a place where I have legal protection. Now, I have a number of friends who are traveling, and they are taking vape pens. They are taking the vape pens. I know I have a friend, they take the vape pen, and they take the cartridges, and they take a bunch of these, and that's what they travel with. And indeed, I have 9 of these. That's enough weed to last most of y'all till next year.
That's fun.
Next year. That's a lot of weed.
That is, man.
But, still, there's issues. No one really is traveling with flour. But you see a lot of people traveling with edibles, some version of edibles. People are using that on the planes because you can definitely have some edibles, some gummy bears on the flight. And it might make that long international flight that much more tolerable. Okay? I want to thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned, because we got more to come here at Pax Stereo TV.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Yeah!